Well, dig deep and keep going. That's the message from the biggest annual gathering of miners at the Diggers and Dealers Conference underway in Australia's gold capital, Kalgoorlie. More than 50 resource companies are gathered to court institutional investors. Former Prime Minister John Howard, who noted it's a good time to be a gold miner with the price headed for an all-time high.
To borrow a phrase of our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, how good is the gold price?
Mr Howard says the mining sector has been underappreciated and under attack and should be credited for doing the heavy lifting and supporting the economy. And as he told our reporter Rachel Pupazzoni, interest rate cuts have gone far enough.
John Howard, welcome to The Business. The RBA meets tomorrow to discuss interest rates. We've already had 2 successive cuts in the last couple of months. Is that the right direction to deal with improving the economy?
I'm not sure that these interest rate cuts have been the right thing to do. I think we've cut interest rates probably far enough already, perhaps too far, but I don't think my advice will be taken.
We're seeing markets around the world, though. I mean, the US Federal Reserve has just cut interest rates. We're not alone in that approach. Is the globe taking the wrong approach to this?
A number of reasons why we came through the GFC so well is that our interest rates were higher when we entered the GFC, and therefore the central bank had room to move. If you cut them too far, you get rid of all the petrol in the tank. And if something unexpected comes along, you don't have the same room for manoeuvre. That's a point of view, and I'm not claiming any special expertise, but I think we've gone quite far enough and perhaps too far, and we'll see what happens.
So is there more for the government to do then to try to boost the economy, give it a kickstart?
I think the best thing the government did to boost the economy was to get re-elected, because it lifted the threat of punitive additional taxes on Australian business and Australian individuals. And I think the sense of relief that we don't have those extra taxes is over time going to prove very valuable.
You're in Kalgoorlie for the Diggers and Dealers mining conference. What's the significance of mining in Australia?
Huge. I think mining played a major role in saving Australia from the worst consequences of the global financial crisis, and over the years it's been a wonderful earner and it's provided a lot of the nation's wealth, and I think it's an underappreciated sector. I find it rather strange that sections of the mining industry should be under constant attack when so much of our wealth and prosperity has been due to the mining industry.
When you say under attack, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think of Adani and the idea that it's taken years for this mine to be approved. I find that ludicrous when you bear in mind the importance, not only to Australia, but also to countries such as India, whose citizens want affordable power.
We've seen energy, a big discussion for the community, and there's a push from your party to explore nuclear energy. Is that the solution?
Well, there's no one solution to this, but part of the solution is to be open-minded about clean energy sources. And nuclear power is certainly a clean energy source. It's not immediately economic, but we should at least be open-minded enough to have it on the table. And the idea that, as propounded by the Labor Party, of just saying no is absurd. If you look at other countries, you mentioned other countries a moment ago, many other countries have been relying on nuclear power for generations.
I wanted to look at global issues. Is Australia in a difficult position considering the US being an ally of ours and China being our biggest trading partner and the trade war that's going on between those two countries?
That only becomes a difficult relationship if we handle it badly. And that is if we have, we get obsessed with choosing. You don't have to choose, you can have good relations with both, but they're of a different character. We'll always be closer to America because our values are the same, but we have a great economic link with China. We have a lot of people of Chinese heritage in Australia, Chinese is the most widely spoken foreign language in our country. It's in our interest, consistent with our values, to have a good relationship with China, and that's the role of the government, and I think the government is handling it well, and I think previous Labor governments have done a pretty good job on that front as well.
Mr. Howard, thank you very much for speaking to the business.
Thank you.